Hey everybody, welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Joel Rico here, and speaking on behalf of the Language of Agreement. And a couple of things to share with you today, this week, is I wanted to give you a little rundown on a technique that I love, one of my all-time favorite techniques. That's called the agreement frame. So what is an agreement frame? Well, consider that in the way that most of us speak to each other, we're all born with an ego, and our ego wants us to look good and be right? Everybody wants to be right. Nobody wants to be made wrong. And so when you start to really listen to people and listen to these conversations, what you'll hear is that most people, instead of really trying to solve the problem, most people are trying to be right. And the one person will say, well, I think blah, 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 blah. And the other person will say, well, but it's kind of like this. And here's my version of how it's right or true. Then the other person will go, yeah, but and then here's my version of what's right and true. And so as you start listening to the way these conversations flow, what happens is we end up working to make ourselves right. Now, what happens in this line of work, I trust that you probably know more than your clients, and most of the time you are right. But what happens when you prove yourself right? We unconsciously make the customer wrong. And so even if you're right, you probably are, you made the client wrong. So how do we convey our message? How do we connect with our client in such a way that even if we have a difference of opinion, we can get our message across without making them wrong? This is really the key. So the process we're going to do today right now is called an agreement frame. So no matter what, I want to find the place in my client's position that I do agree with. I want to find the place that I do agree, I can agree. I want to find the part where I can say, yes, this part right here, even if it's just a little part. All right, so let me give you an example. Let's say, let's use, most of us are in sales. Let's use the commission example. It's a really easy one. Somebody says, wow, that's a really big, that's too much commission. I don't want to pay that commission. So what part of that can I agree with? Right? So I want to find the place where I do authentically agree. So how do I do that? I might say, yeah, I know it sounds like a lot of money. Okay, now I didn't say, yes, it's too much money. I didn't say, oh, it's way too much, you shouldn't pay that. Notice I'm saying, yeah, I know it sounds like a lot of money. Now, if somebody says, hey, the commission's too high, I want you to cut the commission, and you start with a negative, meaning you go, well, hold on a minute, wait a minute, I'm not cutting my commission, hold on, right? If you come from a negative position, what you're really doing is you're demonstrating to the client that you're an adversary, you're not on the same team. So how do we demonstrate to them that we are on the same team? As I want to find the nugget that I do agree. So whatever that is. I'm thinking about listing my house with somebody else. Now, I don't agree to that. I think they should list the house with me. I don't agree that they should list it with somebody else. But where's the place that I can agree? What's the framework in which I can re-deliver my message to them within the framework of I can agree with that? I might say, yeah, I understand that there's lots of people that want your business. Yeah, I understand that you might feel obligated to somebody that you know. Whatever, right? What happens is when we frame our response inside an agreement frame, here's the big thing. The client will actually listen to what comes next. So what's the opposite of that? If they go, well, I'm thinking about listing with somebody else. You go, oh, what? Somebody else? What? You don't like me? You don't think I'm good? What? All of a sudden, I'm making them wrong. They're no longer listening to my position. They start defending and protecting their position, right? That's a no-win. That's an ugly fight. So what makes it a smooth conversation, what opens the door is no matter what they say, I want to find the place where I can say, yeah, I can appreciate why you would think that way. Yeah, I understand that you probably know many other agents, right? Whatever it is. So this is the practice for this week is no matter what kind of crazy disparate position you're given, no matter what kind of nutty response you're given, right? I hate realtors. You guys make way too much money. You're a bunch of snake oil salesmen. Oh my God, I hate you guys. How do you deal with that? Yeah, it's true. There's lots of those people here in the business. I run into them all the time, right? Find the place where you can agree and take their side. Remember, in this business, people are looking for somebody to represent their best interests. So I'm going to do my best to demonstrate I'm on their side. And when I demonstrate that I'm on their side, now they're open to let me represent them. This is really the nature of generating an agreement. All right, so if that was remotely helpful, then I would strongly encourage you to come sign up for our workshop. The next Language of Agreement full live 12-week participatory tele-training workshop is next week. It's on February 21st at 11 o'clock Pacific, 11 a.m. Pacific, and it's 12 weeks long, an hour a week. Go to thelanguageofagreement.com. You get all the sign-up details, and I hope to see you in our next workshop. And if these little 5-minute snippets have been helpful, imagine what 12 hours of being in this course and practicing and training and role-playing and learning all these techniques. My goal for you is that you are so adept and learn so many tools and so many techniques that it doesn't matter what comes at you, you have all the skills to handle whatever shows up in your world. My goal for you is that you're closing 80-90% of the people that you speak to because you have the skills to do so. So that's it for today. Thank you for tuning in. Again, thelanguageofagreement.com. It launches on the 21st, and I hope to have you in the next workshop. That's it. You guys have a great week. We'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.